I'm alive. Okay, welcome to my live streaming. Hopefully this time, this tripod will not disappoint me. So I'm going to show you how I do this. Hello! Hoppa över. Okay, now I can see my live chat, so I think it's good that I can put the front cam, I could put the back camera so that you could see how I do this live streaming, so I can watch. If you have any message for me, I can see from here. So welcome, my name is Esti. I am a Singaporean living in Sweden. Today I am going to share with you my experience how I paint this mushroom. I'm just going to reduce the volume a bit on this one so I don't get disturbed by the sound. I can see myself there. Imagine how cool is that, right? Okay, so we're going to learn how to paint this. Last night we made all this wonderful mushroom. As you can see, these are the one that we made yesterday together, and this is the smaller one. So I just want to, before I start, I just want to give you guys some tips. Yesterday live streaming, I made this. And then after the stream, I decided to change the pattern a little bit. So I made this instead, and I use this sculpture knife or pen to sculpture it. So sometimes it's really just a matter of, the aftermath. You want to just see how you could improve from the previous one. So having these tools is really fun. You can experiment with this with the clay that I was using yesterday. So after the live streaming, I just went for a rest, and then I come back and then I was just playing with this pen, and I think that they are so fun to just experiment. So if you are getting this and you don't know where to get them, I'm going to include the link in the video description so you can get the whole kit. I think I have included the one with the clay too, and also there are even better sculpture pen made of wood and metal. But I find that this kind of plastic works well too, so no harm trying, and it's much cheaper. So now we are going to paint this, and I hope that so I hope that you can follow me through. But before I go there, I'm just going to go through some of the mushroom that I did yesterday. And I also noticed that when it's dried up, it starts to what do you call that, shrink a little bit. So I seen some aluminum foil facing. So, but it is okay because we're going to be painting it, so it will be covered. So don't worry about that. So again, this one I try to paint, just and see if we can see find a new mushroom, because I actually was thinking about black trumpet, but then I was looking at the stem, because black trumpet, the stem is like much wider. So maybe I'm just going to use my own design. Another tips that I wanted to share with you is that when you are painting, it is very good if you have a stick, like matchstick or a satay or grill stick, those wooden one, you just put it through. And the reason why you do that is because so you can hold the stick and then you can paint the whole thing. Otherwise, you have to hold them like that, or you have to put them upside down and paint them, provided this part is dry. So in this case, I forgotten to put the stick. So what I normally do is I'll just paint the front part first, wait until it's dry, then I will put the mushroom upside down and paint them, you know, on the other side. So remember to do that, don't do mistakes like me. And also this one, I didn't use a glue to glue it. Usually I like to use a glue gun to glue it, but I didn't. So I just use this sculpture knife, which is look like a knife. Let me just show you if this is it. Yeah, this one. Yeah. And then what I do is that I just like cut, you know, to roughen the surface, and then I dab some water, and then I join the stems, and it becomes like this morning, because when they are hardened, they are like glue and they will stick to each other. So, and then you wonder all these details, right, how I do it. And so you can also use the sculpture knife and just, you know, push the, while it is still soft, push the knife and then just lift up a little bit, so you get this, you know, like the gills, not gills, the texture. And of course, all this I use this knife too. This knife is actually very good. So I'll just, you know, go, if you use a normal kitchen knife, the normal kitchen one is very big, like this one. You can use it, but because of the curve here, so you will not be able to get the exact sharpness, or you want it to be straight here. You don't want it to be curved. Then it's very difficult to sculpture them. So this I continue to do after the live streaming yesterday. So I thought this was nice to show you guys how you can to create this texture. So I hope I can paint this, and I can paint this, so you can see how I do the process. I hope it's going to be fast. This is the other type of mushroom that I wanted to find, but I couldn't find them because it's quite difficult to find this mushroom, the chicken hand mushroom. It's in fact impossible to find this mushroom in the north. So with the help of a book, I can somehow have some guides. So we'll see if we can find the color, the right color. Now my question is, how do you blend those mushroom, right? The acrylic color. So this is what I usually use. It's very cheap. I bought from the local store. It's a dollar store. You can get them really cheap. If you can't find them, if you don't have dollar store, the link of the video description, I have the one that I found very cheap at Amazon. You can get them, and I think the quality is much better than this one. These are made from China, if I'm not wrong. I think they are from China. I'm not saying that every China thing are bad, but then I realize, you know, being a painter for some times, I notice this is as cheap as I can get. And I think it's, if you were to ask anyone what is the most difficult part when it comes to painting mushroom, I think it's the texture, it's the combination. You know, you want to combine and get the color that it is very realistic. So I think it's really important. It's required some training on the eyes. So usually I get a guidebook. Let me see if I can find the guidebook here. So I'm going to paint the first one, which is the chanterelle. So we're going to mix this color. So I do not know, have you ever used training your eyes how to paint this like precisely the same color? So if you're not, this might be the video for you. So you guys know, right, chanterelle is not really orangey. It's a bit mustard in color. So you want to blend them to the exact. I'll try to blend to the exact. So what I do is I get some brush here. I like this brush with this kind of tips that's pointing up. And then I need some water. Depending on the type of clay, usually this type of clay, they absorb the color very easily. So I don't really need to use water. If you like, you can use a tiny bit of water, but otherwise, you know, you can try without. So what I usually do is that I look at it, I use an orange. I start off with an orange. And then followed by the yellow color, which is medium yellow. And the proportion is like you have to like add on later on. And then, did you guys know that you can actually zoom in my video by just using 2 fingers, and then you can zoom in and see what I'm doing here, because maybe it's too far for some of you guys. So I'm just going to wet the brush a little bit, and then I'm just going to mix the color. Notice I mix more of the yellow. This color I find is still too orange, right? You agree? Do you agree? I think it's a bit too orange. So I'm going to use a paper and test the color and see whether or not this is the correct color. How many of you agree this color is close? And by the way, where are you guys from? I've seen quite a lot of you are joining this live streaming. So it would be good to know which country you're from. People keep asking me, where is your audience from? And I don't know where you guys are from. So I think this is just close, but not as close. I would like to add a more mild color, or more mustard color. So I'm using this yellow ochre. Yellow ochre is just like mustard color. Well, I think I need to get new paint. So I'm just going to blend in a little bit here. And I'm going to compare the color. Still look quite the same there. I think it's better compared to the previous one. But I think I need to add more of this. Maybe I'll blend with a little bit of this flesh tint, which is a very mild yellow, a pale yellow. So have fun, just blend the color, and then eventually you will learn something from, you know, training your eyes to see how to get the right one. I think this is much better now. Let me just try again. Yeah. And you guys see, this is slightly different, slightly lighter. I think I'm going to blend one more color, lemon yellow. Just make it a little bit brighter, because you know this color, they absorb this clay, they absorb the color like a sponge. So sometimes you have to try on the figure, the mushroom figure itself. I think this is even lighter. But we'll try this one first, and then if you are not satisfied, you can always add on later on. So let's try with the smaller one. So because the behind it's aluminum foil, right? So what I'll do is that I'll hold on to the stems and then I'll work on the top and up to the center, right up to here. I'm not going to hold this later on. I'm just going to put them flat and then I'm painting it from the paper itself. So if you guys wonder why this is silver, it's you should watch the previous live streaming. I teach people how to save money on using aluminum foil to fill in the clay. I mean to make the figure. That way you save more than 50% of the clay. So my idea was to put this mushroom on top rather than this size. This one is supposed to go on top like this. Yeah, and that's why I don't bother covering the part, the aluminum part, with the clay. So this is how it's going to look like. So I start off by painting the top first. With the same color. Don't worry about the unevenness because you will see later clearer. Right, just quickly paint this because you want to create a shadow later on. So like that, and then just go according to the hue and then just paint it out. Now, I choose to do this live streaming in the daytime because I find that, you know, last night you guys joining me, right? You saw that the light was terrible. And you can't really see. I can't really see. In fact, I missed quite a few spots on the mushroom, the aluminum foil. So this morning when I see it, I go, ah! There's something I messed up. Okay, now, you see? Okay? Yeah. Oh, 20 of you guys. Hello! Okay, now I'm going to put this mushroom on top of my paper. Get a newspaper or what? It's don't waste newspaper. So you just continue to paint. I think with chanterelle, it's like you try not to start too dark at this from the beginning, because you want to create like a lighter background. Like you, when you look at a mushroom, right, there are under the lights from the sunlight or the daylight. You notice they are much brighter as look. Now I have to use my hand a little bit. I just hold on to this, or maybe I'll just use one of my this one to just hold on, so I don't need to touch. Yeah, the first one. So let's. Okay, now how easy is that, right? Next, I'm going to use a darker tone to create the shadow a little bit. So I'm going to be using a little bit of brown. Not say that we are stingy or what, but I find that when you're using a darker color, you have to be careful. Don't put too much, just one dot, and then work on the palette until you get like a darker tone. So to get a darker tone, usually, you know, the mushroom, I'm just going to tilt this mushroom a bit. Usually, you know, the under the grill is slightly darker. So I'm just going to just create a darker tone here. Just dab on it first. Yeah, it's a darker tone now. So I think for the base, we want to create like a, like, you know, you pick them from the sand, right? From the soil. So you want to have like a bit of effect from the soil. By the way, hi. You guys are amazing. And I think it's very, very fun that you guys can join me this morning. So, just like this, just tap on it. Tap, 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 tap. Okay, remember, okay, don't put the stick. Otherwise, it is. So I think the first one is done. I'll just let them air dry. I don't like to bake them. I'll just let them dry. You have to get some patience. So the next one, I'm going to try making this. We call that the rød flug swamp. It's the ammonia. How do you call that? Ammonia. So we're going to be using red. This mushroom is not just red, so you have to paint like a tone with the yellow. So I'm going to use a bit of yellow and blend and make this into like a yellowish orange. Oh my goodness, this thing came out. Okay, use the glue gun now. Okay, doesn't matter. So you see, I was trying to glue this together, but it is okay. So this color, I'm going to start by painting. You see that is like a 2 layers, right? Right? 2 layers. And then I'm going to start out painting a lighter tone or yellowish orange from the below. So I'm going to mix the red with this yellow that I have here, and then more. And I'm going to start out by painting the below first. Yeah, looks so strange, right? Don't worry. We're going to just create the intensity later on. A little bit of water, and then I'm going to mix the red using the same palette, using the same color, and then I'm going to add a layer of orange or a darker red, like that. You see? So you get a tone, not like suddenly all just red. And then I will go deeper, put more red, and then I will just put the next layer more red. You see? Okay, so now I'm going to put them on the table because I cannot hold them. Now you want to blend these 3 layers of color. So wash your brush. Oh, I need something to dry. Let's see if I can find something to dry. Oh, I usually have a cloth. Let's see if I have a cloth here. Let me get a cloth. Okay, now to blend it, I like to wash my brush and then I just use a little bit of water and then just blend them. Oh, it's coming out. It's too late. Okay, never mind. Maybe we have to start all over again, but I'm going to try and use, because you have to blend them quite quickly so that it will not, like in this situation, get okay, I spoiled this, but we're going to fix that color later on. So I'm just going to just use the same brush, make sure it's not dry, not too dry. And just keep creating this. Ah, so pretty. You see? I think I'm quite satisfied, but I feel like I need to work on more. Maybe add a little yellow on the bottom. Like this. Alright. I will stop at this point because I would not want to paint the bottom because you know, I'm holding it. So leave this, and later on the white dot, you know, this red fruit mushroom, we call that, it's it has these white dots. So instead of using like a perfect circle, you can just use you know, a very thin brush, thinner than this one, and then you dab them on white brush. Or maybe I'll just do it right away so you know what I'm talking about. Let's see if I can find some white. Are you able to focus, like, you know, to zoom in and see? How many of you can do that? Because I think I tried that before. Dry brush and then just dab a bit of the white. Oh, my white is dry. Okay, luckily I have a big jar here. I bought a big jar. It's always good to have big jar. So I'm going to just use just big. All right, and then dry. Then you want to just, you know, don't want it to be too perfect. Try it on the okay, now just it's a bit fizzy. That is what I want. That's why I recommend that the brush is dry. So when they are fizzy like that, you get a very uneven, not perfect. There you go. I think I want more on the top. So this mushroom, don't eat them. you start to see things and it's poisonous. It can kill you if you eat too much. I've seen people eating this on oh, I don't know why they do that. Okay, now this, I'm going to put this aside. Let's paint this. Okay, the next one. Usually mushrooms are brown, and I think this one is some kind of, we call that in Swedish sandsopp. It has a skirt and it usually is quite mustard color. But maybe instead of painting this in mustard, maybe I'll just paint them in brown, just for comparison. Okay, dry, and then don't waste this. Sometimes you can get a very nice color. And then the brown, and then sometimes you can just paint here and see the color. I think I like this brown color, but I'm going to add a little bit of white to this brown and a little bit of orange yellow, more white. Okay, I'm going to start again. I like to paint. This one came out again. Okay, I have to use a glue gun in this case. So I'm going to paint this like very light color. I'm tapping some light color on the base here. You know, this mushroom on the base, they are quite light in color, but we're going to be using the same way we paint this mushroom. I like the color below, and then, you know, gradually you add a darker and darker. Right, so another layer. And with acrylic, it's like you have to work quite fast, and then you have to concentrate on how you want it to look. So usually I have a image in my mind. Now I'm gradually adding more and more darker color. So usually I have like an image in my mind, and then I'll just continue to focus on the how it actually look in real. Okay, and then now more darker color. Okay, I'm gonna put this mushroom down. I don't know if you can see them. Hope you can see them. Zoom in. And then I'm going to add another darker color, making sure that the top is dark. Okay, if it's not dark enough, just add a little bit darker brown on top. And then, that's why I said with the toothpick is very important. Okay, I think I'm done with this. If you think that it is too dry, add a little bit of water just to even up, and to maybe you might miss some white spot. like this case, I have put my finger there, so I have to quickly touch up. I'm trying to use the natural light from now. Sweden is like at this time in November, sometimes it's like dark already. 3 o'clock. Winter is like 2 o'clock. It's totally dark. Now it's getting dark at around 3:30, 4 o'clock. So when I do craft or when I do live streaming on cooking, I try to avoid um, too late, because then it's like, you know, spoil the mood. Okay, this one, I don't know exactly how, but I have in mind I'm going to create my own mushroom. Maybe you can find this in the forest, but I'm going to do like darker shades inside and then follow lighter and lighter color. So I'm going to dab this in a darker brown, as dark as possible in here, and then I'm just going to paint the darker brown first. So like this, okay, and then I'm going to add like brighter and brighter, but I think I'm going to be using yellow because I really love the color yellow. And I'm going to mix this yellow with the brown, so it's not like, oh, brown and then suddenly yellow, right? Unless you want to create like an abstract art, then you can have like purple, you can have blue. So I'm going to try to stick to as natural as possible. So another layer, too dry. What is your favorite mushroom? My favorite mushroom is matsutake, or we call that gulia in Swedish. So, but I find that matsutake is quite difficult to paint because it has too much detail on the body. But I really love this mushroom. And it will be good to hear from you guys. What mushroom is your favorite mushroom? And if you were to make this clay mushroom, what mushroom would you create? Right? Let's hear if anyone can tell me how and which mushroom. Let's see if I can get the mouse top meddelande. It's my dream hobby. Actually, I have no idea how I come across your name. Cozy Bean. That's nice to hear from you. Where are you from? It's your dream it's your dream hobby, and I have no idea how you get started onto my channel. I was wondering that myself. Live streaming in YouTube is very fun because YouTube is trying to help creators to expand their channel. So that's why I love doing live streaming, because then you can see the actual, result of whether it is cooking or whether it is craft. And it is a very good way to reach out to my audience and get to know them. So you are in my channel because I'm doing live stream. So if you are having a if you have a channel too, I suggest that you do more live streaming because YouTube is really pushing this. So I'm going to continue to add a little bit more yellow. I don't know whether you can see a bit more yellow. Let's see. Välkommen till live-chatten. Kom ihåg av din integrity. Okay. Anyone here? So it's fun to see you guys are joining me on this live streaming. And let me just introduce myself if you are new here. My name is SD, and I am a Singaporean who live in Sweden for the past 26 years. My hobby is craft. I do a lot of craft, but I recently started craft live streaming because I find that that is so relaxing. I've been doing craft for many years. I've never just thought that I could do live streaming, and I find that it's so fun to do craft when you have some friends joining you. They can ask questions, and also and I get a chance to get to know my followers. So it's really, really fun. So you guys see I am adding more and more yellow because I love this color. And then I'm just going to just see. You see I have a problem with my eyes. So I'll try my best to fix the color right. So now it is more and more yellow, right? So you see the depth of color. So now I'm going to be adding even more yellow on the edge. Oh, my stomach is calling. That means I am hungry. Yesterday we make a lot of duck the whole day, and I was eating duck rice, Singapore duck rice. I really miss Singapore food, so I'm going to be eating that. We're planning to go out to the city for a while and do the car wash because right now, today, we have more snow now today. So I actually thought, well, maybe we should wash the car. Yeah. So pretty. Yeah. So pretty. I do live streaming nowadays on mushroom recipe. So if you are love mushroom, I have a very, how do you call it, a few recipes on mushroom, and also I also have live video or short video on craft. So you can go and check out my channel. Maybe you'll find something interesting, I hope. Look at that! So pretty, right? So just keep playing with colors. And I think mushroom should be a mix of interesting color rather than just brown, right? So yellow is really a very good color if you want to bring this out to shine. So I think I'm quite satisfied with this. I'm just going to repair those areas I missed out. I'm so glad that you are hanging out with me. I don't know where you're from, but it's so cool. It's like, hello, Michelle. How are you, Michelle? I hope you are doing well. Look. Okay, now I'm gonna wait this for this to dry out. So if you can put them in a small container so you will not spoil the edges. But right now I'm just going to just put them on the side. Hello. Okay, now let's paint this turkey, the ham's chicken. So it's the same technique, but I'm going to be more straightforward because I think the yellow is in the side. So I'm going to start yellow on the edge first. I wonder how this mushroom tastes like. I've seen so many people, they put up this mushroom on the Facebook, and I'm really curious to just know. Okay, now this is one way you can do, and I want to add a little bit of brown to create the depth of the more, how do you call it, shadow. So yellow first. And then yellow on the second layer. All right, the second layer. There are 3 layers here. 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to be painting the layers in orange later on with orange and yellow. What is your favorite? I'm so sorry, you're so pretty. Good. Ah, really, Michelle, what is your favorite? If you want to paint this, all right, or you guys, if you're going to create a video, what mushroom would you consider doing first, or just to try it out? So now I'm going to use a darker color, and I'm just going to put that on the side on the mushroom. I'll show you later, don't worry. That the side like that. Like that. You see? Can you see? Mm. Mm. Right? So you are creating like a shadow, darker color. And the same I'm going to do on this part. Just dab it. Tap, 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 tap. Okay. Now the last part. Can you guys see? Can? Nice or not? Okay, so this way you can put the toothpick this way, right? You can put your toothpick this way so you can hold the mushroom and paint at the same time. So now I'm going to just use the orange one or a bit red. And just dab onto the remaining parts. Just tap, tap, tap. think it's difficult to this decide, but I suggest that if you are first time doing this craft and you have no previous experience at all, try and do something like a simple one like this, for example, just a simple one, because I think this is considered a little bit, you really require a little bit of patience, not skill but patience, to understand how you should mold it. And the reason why I'm dabbing it, because there are holes in the, I created holes, so that's why I'm like pushing my paint in to those holes. You're going to see this. I'm going to give you a close-up. And also the brush, you know, not like a tip. Make sure it is like you know, you see those zigzag, so you can get a more like realistic look. When you are dabbing it, you're also creating a how do you call that? More natural looking, not like one straight line, right? And then I like to put my darker color over my yellow, like that. Can anyone tell me? I would like to paint great fluke swamp. Ah, okay. And toadstool swamp mushroom, which I think is much easier. Yeah, correct. I think the red fluke swamp, it's definitely easiest. You just don't paint everything red. Try and do like what I do. Is more fun when you are working with texture. So you have the control. You learn how to control. We are control freak. Oh, okay. Now this part, I'm just going to add like more neutral color. I'm going to put them on the table and then just, you know, paint them over with a slightly red orangey color. And don't worry if it's like you see some white part, because I think this mushroom has certain part where you see there is white underneath. So I think I'm quite satisfied with how it looks now. Let me give you guys a close-up look. Can you see? Dapping. All right. Okay, let's paint one of these. The leg, I think I can still paint it. So since I have a little bit of white here, I'll wash my brush. So I'm going to just paint it little bit of yellow. Stems usually they are darker, white, lighter in color. So, and a bit brownish, or rather cream in color. Okay, so now this one, I'm going to put them on top. All right, so you can see. So it's easier for me. I don't have to hold it. I'm going to paint cream in color. On the foot too. In fact, this mushroom is like this, the red fluke salmon. The feet is like quite white. But I find white is a bit boring. So I'm going to paint it a little bit different. Because If you have too white, it's like so boring. And then you know you have this the skirt, right? So I'm going to use a darker color to bring out. Just dab on it. Just dab on this skirt. You don't have to paint the whole skirt. Keep some white part. Then it will make it look more interesting. Like that. Right? Don't have to be perfect. Just have fun. I think this is pretty sweet. So don't worry, I'm gonna take a screenshot, not a screenshot, I'm not gonna take like a close-up of this pictures, this mushroom that I painted, and I'm gonna post it in my community page and YouTube, and then you can go check that out and a closer look. So the mushroom for this fruit swamp, the underneath is white in color, or rather cream in color. So I'm just going to just paint this with a lighter color instead of keeping it like unpainted white. To create an interesting texture, I'm going to just add a little bit of dark color, a little bit of brown, just to make it more interesting, or shadow from the underneath. So like this. Can you see? Oh, all right. So you create a shadow. So when this comes in here, I'm gonna use a glue gun to glue it. Very, very fun. I just love doing this. I'm so glad that I could share my experience. All right, when you have finished painting, this is how it would look like without the varnishing touch. So I prefer to varnish it, because when you varnish it, it is more lasting. So I bought this at the shop. It was so expensive. And then I found on Amazon is so much more cheaper. So I use this to paint, and then you have this really, really glossy. I don't know whether you can see. Really, really glossy. So I only paint one layer with this. So you can paint 2 layers if you're going to put this outdoor. So without the paint, it looks like that. Very pale and matte, right? And with the paint, it looks like that. With the varnish, I mean. And also I made one small one. This one I'm supposed to hang it on the Christmas tree as an ornament. So I'm trying to make more of this so that I could hang them in as a Christmas decoration. So I will be making a lot of mushroom for my Christmas, and then yeah, it will be fun if you can join me in this in those live streaming too. So get the varnish. The link is in the video description. Usually the link will pop up in the screen up right on top. I think, if I'm not wrong, is the right hand corner. So you can click onto that link and order the varnish. So otherwise, you can click onto the video. If you look down to the video, there is one picture there. So you can click onto that, and that will bring you to my Amazon storefront too. So if you are going to make some Christmas ornament, I hope you join me in this near future um, meetup. I call this a meetup because I find that it is like a friend meetup where you can gather people with like-minded and willing to explore the possibility of creating something amazing. So I am going to cut this live streaming now, and I thank you. Okay, before I do that, when you're varnishing, right, make sure you wait until everything is completely dry. All right, don't varnish it when it is still soft and wet. The good thing about this aluminum foil inside is that because if you are using just solid clay alone, the inside part will be wet. So there are chances that you might get mold, or it might not be as lasting. But when you use aluminum foil, they are more lasting, they are cheap, and you don't need to use a lot of clay, and also it dry fast. So last night I did this and it was like completely dry. So I hope you really give this a try just for fun. Use those aluminum foil in experiment, and maybe this might be a new hobby for you. I hope you are satisfied with this, and then I will see you in my next live streaming. On my next live streaming, I'm going to do streaming about Christmas decoration. I'm going to give you suggestion, and you don't really need to buy a tons of stuff. I hope I can find things that you can find around the house that is just sitting there, and recycling it so that you can save money on Christmas decoration. All right. And if you guys are interested in food, mushrooms, I have a lot of recipe, and my next live streaming is going to be on how to make mushroom powder. My tips on how to create the finest. You really don't need to have a spice grinder to do that. So I'm going to show you how to do that, so you don't have to go order online mushroom powder. Pick those mushrooms, or you already have dried mushroom at home, and when you grind, with the fiber, it's very, very difficult to get a really, really powder fine texture. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So make sure you follow me and subscribe to my channel, and always put the notification bell on, because when you put that on, every time when I go on live, you will receive a notification, or if I have scheduled a live stream, you will get a notification on when you open up your YouTube app. Then you will see my little humble face there trying to inform you when is my next live streaming. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.